Five, four, three, two, one. Hey, everybody, it's D Davis here at the 360 MBAA report. Checking in. Just wanted to talk about nature and nurture. Nature and nurture. Nature is intrinsic, instinctual, something you're born with, whereas nurture is something that uh, it's provided to us from outside forces. Outside forces meaning family, parents, friends, social environments. That is what nurture is. So when looking at nature versus nurture, nature is innate. Nature is just you kind of born with it. Nurture, that is something that's given to you from somebody else. And with anything, hopefully somebody, or hopefully the person that has given you or given to whatever they're giving to, hopefully they were provided things that are or were beneficial to them so that in turn, whatever they do can be beneficial to the other person that they're nurturing. Because if you give somebody dirty water when they're thirsty, even though they're thirsty, that dirty water is going to make them sick. You gave them something to quench their thirst, but what you gave to them was detrimental to their system. See what I'm saying? Just because someone gives you something doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be for your benefit. I hear there were stories of Native Americans given blankets when they came down with smallpox. So that act of giving, that act of charity, if the story's correct, if the story's true, that act of charity had deceptive intentions, deceitful intentions. But that's I don't want to go into things like that. Let's just talk about, let's keep it simple. Let's make it plain. Nature versus nurture. You are who you are. You're born with those certain things. You're born with a spirit, born with a soul. You have to learn, humans, we have to learn from others. I think animals do the same thing. You know, the animals, they're taught by their parents, by their mom. So it's a thing that happens in nature. And most things, there's a major difference between animals and humans because animals, I think for the most part, are going to teach what is instinctual, innate, what they're born with. This is my theory. I think animals are coded with whatever they're coded with, and they just do what they do automatically. They just, a cat is a cat as soon as it's born and knows how to do cat stuff. Whereas humans, we have to be taught. And since we have to be taught, here comes a huge problem because what if our teachers aren't the best teachers? And if our first teachers aren't the best teachers, what do? I think it's very important that people become autodidactic. If you don't know what autodidactic is, that means to be self-taught. Because when you're self-taught, hopefully you're teaching to benefit you. And hopefully you are gaining an awareness of your social environments and assessing those social environments in order to make good decisions about you, your present, and your future. Because what I am willing to tell you that a lot of people will not tell you is that what happened in the past, it really doesn't fucking matter because we're here right now. Even though your past does affect your makeup, because we're talking nature and nurture. So we have to understand that not everybody is born in the lot that they would deem appropriate or suitable for their mental, physical, spiritual development. But with everything in life, we can't control where we're dropped at, but we control where we go after. You're born into this. You gotta get through it. You gotta live through it. It is what it is. But what are you doing to prepare yourself to get you to where you think you want to be? I always ask this question: what are you doing to get you where you want to be? I ask this question too much because I think by asking this question, I'm skipping a step in the process because most people, I don't want to say most people, I hate to give generalizations, but a lot of people have no fucking clue where they want to be. And if you don't know where you want to be, most of the times you're just going to be drifting. What's that movie with Tom Hanks? Castaway. You're just drifting till you hit an island, and then you're talking to a soccer ball with a face painted over it. A lot of people go through life just drifting, just doing whatever everybody else do, whatever seemed cool, whatever's in, whatever's trendy. A lot of people do things because everybody else done it, or they're doing it too. And if they're doing it too, by golly, it must be fun for me as well. I'm gonna give a little story. I was in high school, ninth grade. I wanted to be popular. I wanted to hang with all the cool kids. I wanted to be like Saved by Bell, just like in a ghetto environment. So did all that, fun and being with the cool kids, popular kids. And then early into my sophomore year, I was in the cafeteria looking around at the lunch table. I was like, I really don't like these fucking people that much. Then I moved the fuck on and found people who I liked. I think I think this is my opinion that most people in America they just do whatever the fucking TV do. They just copy the TV. But I couldn't live that way just because I'm like, nah, this ain't for me. Like, if I'm gonna be with somebody, if I'm gonna be hanging around people, I I kind of want to like the motherfuckers. I kind of, want to find them humorous and enjoyable and not just hang with them because they are on the basketball team or the football team or they're doing this shit and that shit and they're popular. Fuck popularity. That's why I'm on YouTube, nigga. But yeah, back to nature versus nurture because all of these things that we have that at our disposal, you know, uh, all these things that we have at our disposal are mere distractions. Um, and we pay attention to those distractions, whether they are beneficial or detrimental to us. That's just the way it is. But what will you do to stop that process? The power lies within you. The power lies within me. The power uh, lies within all of us. It's just a lot of us don't want to look inside, dig deep inside, go through some shit alone by yourself. A lot of people don't want to do that. And because you fail to look inside, you fail to empower yourself. And the only way you get through what you want to get through, once you figure out what you want to do, the only way to do all that is to find that thing inside, either here or here, or it could be that. That could be holding you back. It's those things that hold us back that we don't want to wrestle with. We don't want to get in here too much because here's scary. Because then I'm gonna have to deal with some shit if you start getting into here. If you start getting into here, I'm gonna have to deal with some shit that affected me here. That's fucking me up right here. Shit's real deep. But a lot of times the things that fucked us up right here, fucked us up right here, are things that we pay attention to that distract us from who we really are. And because we can't get into uh, contact with our true intrinsic selves, that little child, that schism happens within us. And because that schism happens in us where we can't connect with the child because we're so stuck on our bullshit, this is what it is. We're so distracted by this and that, the job. I got to pay these bills. I got student loans. Stupid ass boss won't get off my case. Kids, family, got all this stuff. Then you got politics and all this crazy shit that's happening. COVID. I get it. Life happens. Life ain't gonna stop lifing. That's the thing about life. As long as you got a pulse, as long as you got breath in your body, as long as your heart continues to beat, shit gonna happen. And guess what? We do not have any control over the shit that happens. So you either get upset by the shit happening to you, or you learn to deal with it. You roll with the punches. Roll with the punches. I don't know if I'm rolling correctly, but you bob and weave, man. That's what you do. Because guess what? Bad weather comes, storms come, rocky, uh, what was it? Rocky ocean weather, rocky seas, all that stuff happens. And then we get a lull. The sun comes out. The vicious ocean seas stop being so vicious. Then there's a lull. Just because it's raining today doesn't mean it's going to rain next week or even 3 hours from when it's raining. With that, I think I went a couple places, but hopefully I was able to talk about nature and nurture. Because nature is just that little kid, that fun little kid that was happy and free spirited. That's nature. You were born to do that. The truest form of a human is them as a child, especially when they're young children, because they haven't really been indoctrinated too much, and you know whatever drama that goes on, in a child's life from the parent, from the people who raised the child, if that hasn't affected the child too much, that's the truest form of of creation in the human form that we have on this earth. As a little kid, get back to the little kid inside of you. Get back to that nature, because what I will tell you is a lot of this nurture been fucking us up, and because we're all fucked up by the nurture that we've gotten, that we received, there's so many schisms that have happened within the minds of many. All these anxieties and stresses and traumas and things like that. And I don't like to use trauma too much because trauma is an overused word. And when people experience some real trauma, the stuff that they've been parading around calling trauma doesn't look like shit. Once you met somebody that went through things, that experienced real shit, you stop using trauma so much, because not being able to go to grandma's house when you want to go to grandma's house ain't trauma. Being grounded because you done some stupid shit ain't trauma. That's just you doing stupid shit and you being held accountable. That's another thing. We got a lot of adults today that don't want to be held accountable for their actions. And when they be held, and when they are held accountable for their actions, they run away. They want to deflect. I didn't do that. Why's this happening to me? And I have no idea why they got consequences. Grown ass adults, people in their fucking 40s that don't want to come to the realization they're dumbass decisions. And your dumbass decisions have consequences. But that's another rant. That's another rant. But hey, this is 360, Mr. 360. This is D Davis here with the 360 MBAA report, 360 mind, body awareness and assessment. I'm D Davis. If you have any questions, info at 360mbaa.com. Go to the website, check it out, see what I'm about. I do mindset coaching, and I also do parenting consultation because I've worked with kids and a number of environments and behavioral schools, behavioral programs for the last 15 plus years. So I think I'm well versed in helping children with behavioral problems in the home and at school. I do in-home coaching sessions. You can look that up on the website, but I do provide that service. This is in the greater Hartford area in Connecticut. But I also offer Zoom consultation. So where there's a will, there's a way. So if you're having some difficulties individually and need some mindset coaching, I got you. And if you have or know people with children who are having difficulties, I got you. 360mbaa.com, info at 360mbaa. This is D Davis, and I'm out like trout. Holla.